nice to fall asleep again without you sleeping in my bed. No longer thinking, when is it all gonna end? Make up then break up over again.
Yep. Great.
Awesome.
That's the episode.
We're done.
Done. Gone. Welcome to Small Town Big Gays, everybody. Hi. How are you? Glad you can be here. We're the eponymous Big Gays.
Eponymous?
Hipponymous. Hippoporonymous. Eponymous. E.
Hippos?
I'm pretty sure that's the right word. I hope that's the right word. I'm leaving this in either way. I'm Chance.
And I'm Travis.
How are you?
I am doing lovely. How are you?
So good.
Yeah?
So good.
That's good.
Brat Summer is dead.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm. It's over.
Not feeling so bratty anymore. I'm feeling just well behaved.
Yeah, I don't want to 365 party girl anymore. Give me a week and I'll be back there. But yeah, we were both at Charlie XCX this weekend in the Twin Cities.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Okay. Here's my honest review. I am a Charlie appreciator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily a Charlie fan. But I'm kind of that way with all music. Like I don't really have anyone I super like stan.
Mm-hmm. Except for Kim Petras.
Yeah, but even her, I could well, maybe that might be one of the ones. Yeah, Kim Petras. But I wouldn't pay a lot of money to go see her. That sounds terrible. Whatever.
Well, speaking as someone who's paid a lot of money to go see Charlie,
yeah,
I don't want to pay a lot of money to go see anyone anymore.
Yeah, I the Charlie, I happened to get a hand-me-down ticket, so that's why I was able to go. A really lovely hand-me-down ticket, might I add.
Yeah.
A very nice one. It was very generous of the person. And I had a really good time. I like some of her music, but I don't know a lot of her music. So, it's a vibe, and it was fun to I like to dress up, so it was fun to just dress up. And my friends that I went with were lovely to spend time with. So that was the best part of it, just getting to hang out with my friends and dress up, and then getting to hear some of my favorite music. I can appreciate her solo concert vibes of just she's like, this is me, take it or leave it. I just wish there was a little bit more. I don't know. It left something to the imagination. I'm not saying she needed to necessarily be a dancer herself if that's not what she is, but maybe have backup dancers doing things, or the costuming could have been better. It was just even if you're not a fashion girl, it's still one outfit looked like a gray diaper. The other one looked like a Brillo pad diaper under leather shorts.
It did look like a gray diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just could have been a little bit, but her body is incredible.
Oh
my God. She's hot.
She spit on the stage and licked it.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was briefly totally straight for a moment.
Yeah.
And then remembered I was at Charlie XCX and right back to being gay.
Right back to it. Surrounded by the homosexuals. I do feel like it might have been a different experience for me and Tom, because we were actually super close to each other in terms of stadium seating, because we were in the pit on stage left and you were stage left in the seats, not that far up. I was surprised by how close we all were. Yeah.
But it was honestly, it was one of the most fun concerts I've ever been to, but I'm a huge Brat girl. Yeah. And being in the pit and just shouting to all our favorite songs. We made friends while we were in line. Shout out Devin, Elliot, and Josie. You're definitely not listening to this, but you were cool.
Maybe.
But yeah, it was super fun for us. And coming from a punk show background, mostly, I was surprised by how tame the being so close to. I mean, we were 10 feet away from the stage the entire show.
Yeah,
and it was not a human crush I was expecting, and I'm used to at shows. But yeah, it was really great.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's fun. A concert's always fun, no matter.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you love the artist or not, it's always just a vibe,
And it felt like a rave when you were down like on the floor. It felt more like a rave. So I can see how just that being, you know, up in a stadium seat is a little different maybe, but also just the level of gratitude in my bones at the time, not anymore, but at the time, made me just love every second of it. So
that's good.
I wore my Charlie hat.
You did.
That we got from VIP early entry.
I like it.
Thanks.
I've never seen you in blue like that, but I like the color on you.
I'm attempting this summer to maybe do more than just black. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, black's good too. If you like it, you like it.
I do.
Just have some accents of color.
Yeah, a little pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. It was a bratty weekend. We both made a whole weekend of it.
We did.
Up in the big city of Minneapolis.
Oh, the big city. You know, so much crime up there.
Well, there was a lot of crime I committed.
There was a stabbing right outside Target Center.
Oh.
During the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
I didn't know Felicia was at the Target Center.
Yeah.
Stabbing people.
Felicia stabbed someone at the Target Center. But yeah, there was a stabbing outside the show. We found out as we were leaving. And speaking of Felicia just texted me that she's not going to make it to trivia tonight. I what's the word? Called her, I don't know. Manifested her. Yeah,
presence
out of the ether. But yeah, there was a stabbing directly outside Target Center when we were at Charlie XCX. So, you know, big city full of crime.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last stabbing in Eau Claire? Fairly recently.
Yeah, it was like not too long ago, actually.
So,
yeah. Well, you know, things happen.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you do while you were in the big city?
Well, Friday night we went to a couple bars. I have a new favorite gay bar in Minneapolis. It's called the 19 bar.
Okay.
It's an older gay bar, and it used to be super divey, and then there was a fire. Like, I guess a garbage truck crashed into a telephone pole and then lit the building on fire, but they rebuilt, so it's like allegedly same layout, just like everything's new and dark, dingy, mostly like older gays. Like, there were very few like under, you know, my age, 30-ish people, which was nice. And so we went there. We went to Saloon, of course, on Saturday, and Eagle. We did go to Eagle, which is a chain in name only across the country, I guess, but it's generally like a leather bear bar. And they had a fire pit, so we got to sit next to a fire pit and drink, which is one of my favorite ways to drink. And yeah, then Saturday, Saloon, Charlie, Sunday, brunch at Lush, starring Amber Hudson.
Yeah.
Shout outs. So.
Give your critiques of her performances now if you'd like.
She tries doing the same thing to me immediately after most of the drag shows I see her. Who's your favorite?
Yeah. Yeah, we love to get the info.
Yeah.
Spill the tea.
Amber was my favorite. Her husband gave her a hit of poppers midway through her second number.
Yeah.
And I think that was a fun touch. So shout out to her for really going for it. But
well, I hated them all equally. So
yeah. Okay. That's fair.
No, it was a great show. Yeah. I went up and, went to a lot of drag shows this weekend. That's what I did. I went to a new location on Saturday to see, I actually knew almost the whole cast, which was fun. And it was fun to surprise them. I didn't tell anyone I was going. So we just showed up and they came out and it was a good time.
Diablo was there. Who else was there?
Diablo, Zasha, a lot of shots, Megan the Man-Eater, and then Scarlet Cats. So it was good to see. I hadn't seen a lot in a while, so it was fun to see her and, you know, watching my little Diablo just grow up in front of my little eyes.
She's really becoming a woman.
She is a really sassy little woman, but I love it.
She is so short. She's so
little.
short, so small.
Just
little
baby.
Little baby.
Yeah, so did that and then got to hang out with some friends up there and had some alone time in a hotel room. And yeah, then went to the brunch show on Sunday with you and Tom and
Mhm.
Diablo and Colton, and we had a lovely time. It was a Charlie XCX themed brunch after going to Charlie XCX concert.
It was a lot of Charlie.
It was
this
a lot
weekend.
of Charlie, and I am really good at listening to Charlie for a little bit, I think.
Because it wasn't just that; it was Charlie XCX concert, after party at Saloon was Charlie XCX themed.
Yeah.
So there were like a bunch of people from the concert there. So it was Charlie.
Charlie.
Done. I've been skipping her. Love her. Love you, Charlie. Been skipping her all day when it comes up on my music.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. I got to spend some time with friends and, get your fix of the big city and
Mhm.
all that comes with it, and, some good food, some good times. And
Mhm.
I was ready to be home and back to work. And yeah, that's where we are.
I was ready to be one of those things.
Back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not back to work.
Not
but
back to work.
You
now.
know what? I got a busy week. We're girl bossing through it.
Yeah. Speaking of I don't know, this subject matter came up upon whatever. I had an interesting week this week, and on Thursday, I was hosting Drag Queen Bingo, as I do every second and fourth Thursday of the month in Eau Claire. And a couple of my friends came, and we decided to go out afterwards because I didn't have to work on Friday because I was going up to the cities. And we went to an establishment, and one of my friends went to the bathroom, the men's room, and they are a man themselves, and they had told me that 2 people showed them their penis in the bathroom.
Yeah, you
And
told me this.
I need to know, because I don't go to the men's restroom ever, I don't think. I guess I haven't recently that I can think of, like a public men's restroom, unless it's like at an airport, I think is probably the last one I've been to. Do men show themselves to each other?
Not usually.
I don't know if this person was lying, but they were like really convinced, and I like threatened to go talk to the people, and they were totally fine with me going to talk to them about it, which leads me to believe then they were being serious about it, because most people would be like, no, like kind of panic about it.
And this establishment is not a cruisy establishment.
No, but maybe it is, and we don't know.
I would hope I would know.
Let's make it.
Well, I would be so happy.
Well, we're going to make it.
We're going to make it a cruising spot.
A cruising
it's a
spot.
terrible bathroom for cruising, but
I've never been in it. I don't think.
Really?
Maybe I have. Yeah, I put my sticker above the urinal once, I think.
You did, yep. I mean, it's just a stall and then 2 urinals, and it's
Okay.
very bright in there.
Yeah, that's what I thought I remember.
Bad. But no, usually men are not showing their penises to each other. That's something that happened to my husband at another establishment that does not have a stall in their bathroom. It's just toilet urinal.
Mm.
And a man was shitting in there
Oh my God.
and then stood up and like waggled his dick at my husband while my husband was pissing at the urinal.
Oh my.
So no, that doesn't usually happen at this other establishment.
Why would you shit in a place that there's no privacy?
That's what I'm saying.
That's horrifying.
because that's that related to my new favorite bar in Minneapolis, the 19.
Mhm.
Tom was saying, because he used to go there before when it was divier, and he was like, yeah, there's no stall doors, the bathroom's awesome. And I'm like, why is that awesome? What are you
Yeah.
supposed to do if you need to like shit? And he's like, just don't shit at a gay bar, I guess, or if you really have to, just go into the women's room or something. But
I absolutely hate
it's so
public
fucked up.
restrooms.
I hate them.
Yeah, like if you're going to own an establishment and you're not going to be willing to pay for there to be separate stalls for people to have privacy in, whether that's shitting or pissing, then I have no respect for you.
I'm
I'm just going to go out and say
do
it.
not either. Which also this weekend was my first time at Lush, and there was one other place that was the same way, I think, but it was gender neutral
Mhm.
bathrooms, which I loved. You
Yep.
walk in, sink, there's toilet, and then a room of urinals. I love that. That's
Yeah.
how every bathroom should be.
Yeah, and Lush has the most amazing bathrooms because they're also like very like separate rooms, the stalls. Like
Yes,
there is privacy, so if you like had have an emergency shit, you would feel comfortable
You're good.
doing it.
I did. It was great.
Love that.
Best shit of
that's
my-
what took you so long.
Best shit of my weekend.
We thought you guys were hooking up in the bathroom, but you were just shitting. Huh?
No, we were smoking a cigarette when you thought we were
Okay. Well,
we were
same thing,
hooking
shitting
up in the
smoking.
bathroom. But yeah, stall number 2, according to Colton.
Because they had to have a plumber come after you were done.
Yep.
That's how you know.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the cruising location at Sniffy's, but
Oh.
or on Sniffy's is stall number 2 at Lush.
Okay.
So
Love that.
you heard it here first, folks.
How do you? I wonder how you would cruise in that bathroom because it like stall number 2. It's like it's very private.
I think
Do you just like sit in there and like have your hand up and be like, "Hello" when someone opens the door?
Hi. No, I mean, I think it would be like you're on Sniffy's and you message someone and be like, "Hey, I'm installed too."
Oh, I don't think that's as fun.
It's not.
I thought like cruising was just like the thrill of like someone just walking in.
That's like old style cruising of
Oh, okay.
not like old style, but
Called
that's like
out.
pre-Sniffy's style of cruising, because Sniffy's has made cruising a lot more accessible because it's basically, it's
I'm over the internet.
Grindr, but it's maps.
I hate the internet.
Me too.
I hate it, but I love it. It's just ruining all the fun.
It really is.
Yeah, like don't you want to just like hope to open stall number 2 and someone in there?
And someone's there just
Hello, dearie. Just butt naked in there.
just face down, ass up, and just looking
Yeah.
at you like, hi.
Or like their head between their legs. I certainly cannot do that, but someone, their hole just gaping, ready to be filled.
That's basically, I mean, that's a different type of cruising. That's a cum dump. But like, how would your neighbor have his glory hole if not for Sniffy's? He'd get no
Well,
action.
That's true, but I don't know. I miss Craigslist.
So you just miss the like shittiest version of the apps.
Yeah.
What's-
Yeah, I don't know, but like back in the day, you just see like new places that were cruising spots, and you'd go.
And now they're on the map.
Now they're
I wouldn't have known that there are so many cruising spots in our small town if not for Sniffy's.
Have you cruised?
I'm not into
Cruising?
like proper cruising.
Mm.
I mean, it's one thing if it's like tank night and then the whole bar is cruising, but
That's the thing.
yeah, tank night at the saloon.
Isn't it always tank night though?
No,
There was someone in the tank there Saturday.
there's everyone in the tank. So the tank is different than the shower.
Oh, okay.
There's the shower and then that room, main bar, dance floor, go through this bar, and then there's the smoking patio.
Okay.
That's the tank.
Okay.
That's where it's the leather and fetish party.
So you just go in there and
Hello, boys. Get my hole.
dressed up as Miss Doubtfire. Hello, dearie.
It really was a missed Doubtfire. I thought that, and I wasn't gonna make you stop.
Maybe I will dress up as Miss Doubtfire and go cruising a tank night.
Honestly?
at the saloon.
No, just go at one of the cruising spots in town here as Mrs. Doubtfire. You're just walking, just an old woman walking through the woods. Hello.
You know, this may not be a bad idea.
You'd get someone,
I would either get shot or raped. I think those
Or-
are my two options.
or you'd suck some dick.
Okay. Well,
You'd be drawing a lot of attention to yourself because the
Comment.
whole point of cruising is to like
draw attention.
subtly though. It's all winks and crotch rubs. And
Well, I've cruised once.
how did that go?
It was fine. It was in a hiking trail
Mm.
just outside of town, and yeah, there was a man there that I wasn't really attracted to, but I was like, well, we're here, so let's just do it. So you jerked him off quick and then left.
That's usually how it goes from
Yeah.
what I hear from people who do cruise. Because there's just something about like doing it in public. I'm also picky, so if I'm like not attracted to someone, I don't even want to just jerk them off or anything. I'm just
It's rude.
I know it's rude. That's why I don't do it. That's why I don't cruise.
Maybe you should expand your horizons and cruise this summer. Just one time, do it.
I probably will try, but it's mostly like
Just let me know what day you're going.
It's just-
and I'll have a surprise for you. Hello, dear. Want to jerk me off? It's me, Miss Doubtfire.
I love this bit. This is great. This is one of your best bits.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's cruising.
I think that this probably needs to happen.
You cruising as Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so our 2 goals this summer are Queer Trap Shooting League. You go cruising as Mrs. Doubtfire.
But I want to do like the Miss Doubtfire where she has like the frosting on her face.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, see, that comes after you do the cruising. Though.
Yeah.
Do you like getting cum down your face? Cum down? Came down?
I'm not against it. I don't know. I don't like to think about any of that stuff when I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to think about like, or unless you're getting revved up for it, you know? Like, I don't want to, like, right now when I'm not.
You don't want to get, like, half chub while we're sitting on this couch doing
well,
our
I
podcast.
always do anytime I'm sitting by you.
I was going to say.
No, like, yeah, I don't want to think about, like, that particular stuff when I'm not in the mood. But, like, in the moment, usually I'm like, yeah, do it. Do it. All over me.
Hello, come on my face, dearie.
Could you imagine? I should like just start catfishing people on Grindr as like my Chloe profile, and then they show up and I'm just dressed up in this Doubtfire. Just spook the shit out of them. You know, the saddest thing is it would
You'd still
probably
get
phase
laid.
none of them. Yeah,
You'd
I would
still get laid.
literally phase none of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These men.
Yeah. Love it.
Moral of the story is usually people are not waggling their dicks at other men in the men's room unless they're cruising, and the bar you were at is not a cruising
Not a
place.
cruising spot.
Who was it that said that?
Barbara Angel.
She's a pretty boy, so
Yeah, I think it happens to attractive people.
yeah.
Which I'm not.
Why doesn't anyone waggle their dick at us in the bathroom?
Never mind. I was gonna make a really sick joke.
What?
I was like, besides my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cruising.
Cruising.
Is that what we're talking about today?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I just have totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. What's your favorite movie?
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Is it?
No, but only because when we were kids and my parents were going through a divorce, my older sister would watch that like over and over and over and over and over again. Like that was her comfort movie. So it's a great film. Still love it to this day, but I wouldn't consider it one of my favorites because I got burnt out on it as a child.
Well, that's sad. You should watch it when you get high sometime.
I don't get high that often. So I'll get high and watch Mrs. Doubtfire. It's a great movie. I think I watched it, most of it recently, anyway.
I'll probably be watching it on Saturday, to be honest. Maybe tonight.
Why not?
Just Miss Doubtfire all week.
Miss Doubtfire Marathon. Mrs. Doubtfire. Miss Doubtfire 2, which is just you rewatch Miss Doubtfire. No, that's Miss Doubtfire 3, the reboot where you play Miss Doubtfire.
We should do Miss Doubtfire the musical.
I think that would be incredible.
I don't think I would be able to have anything to do with it because I have no musical talent.
How has that not been a thing yet?
I know. I'm like, with all the like, there's a lot of drag queens that like do spoofs of musical things, and I'm really surprised Miss Doubtfire hasn't been one. Maybe it is, and we don't know.
I mean, maybe. I'm just surprised. Like they have Mean Girls the musical. How did they not do? I mean, maybe now it's because Robin Williams, R.I.P. But
well, I Miss Doubtfire. I mean, it's like it was a little bit of a musical-ish. I mean, it wasn't a musical, but like there's musical stuff to it. Like Robin Williams sang a lot in it.
Yeah, but that's more just like.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a musical, but it's
there's a cappella singing, sure.
It would translate well into a musical.
I think it would too, which is why I'm surprised it hasn't been made into like, you know, a Broadway fucking musical like Mean Girls has, or like
maybe
Spider-Man the musical. They're making musicals out of anything these days.
Well, maybe we should capitalize on this.
Let's write Miss Doubtfire the musical.
Okay. I'm going to start working on it.
And it'll be her in a bathroom. Hello!
Me in a bathroom?
Yes.
Writing the musical?
Yes.
Crying?
Yeah. While cruising. No, come in. No, come in. I'll suck your dick.
Oh my God. I think I'm going to cruise at Lush next time I'm there.
Do it.
But I'm going to do it the old school way and just sit in there.
Just sit in there and stare at people.
Do you think people would be turned on if they came in the bathroom, stall number 2, and I was just sitting there with my pants down? I'm like, get out of here, I'm shitting. And then they'd want to like hook up with me.
I think so. I think you have to post. I think you need to join Sniffies. You need to post that you're install number 2, but then you need to go in and
Just
take
actually
a
be
shit.
shitting in there.
Yeah.
Get out of here, suck my dick.
Blumpkin or nah?
Oh my God, is Blumpkin when people suck your dick when you're shitting?
Yeah.
That deserves the death penalty.
I mean, I'm sure someone has done it in actuality before, but I think it's not as prevalent as growing up in the 2000s made it seem. 'Cause I feel like my friends in like middle school talked about Blumpkins a lot.
That's
just because
disgusting.
it's a funny thing to talk about when you're, 12.
Yeah, but I believe people do it,
I'm sure they do.
and they deserve the death penalty.
Okay. That's a strong that is a strong statement from Chloe Wold. Small town big gays. We endorse the death penalty for people who like to give or get Blumpkins.
People
give
who-
or get. Like, are we putting them both to the death or?
I think the people who are getting deserve a life sentence, and the people who are giving deserve the death penalty.
The death penalty.
And I think that after hearing about Blumpkins, I'm now Republican.
Okay. I'm not going to say unfair.
And I feel like writing some legislation immediately.
Okay. To outlaw
To outlaw that.
gay people or Blumpkins.
I don't know. I'm really upset right now. So it could be
Because I feel
everything.
like, there's some straight woman who's super into giving Blumpkins, I'm sure. If you're a straight woman into giving Blumpkins, email us, smalltownbigcase@gmail.com.
Oh my God. Yeah. Everyone who's a Blumpkiner deserves a death penalty
Okay.
or a life sentence.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Fair
Oh
enough.
my God.
I think we should,
This is gonna this is gonna be the dumbest TikTok that's gonna go viral, and someone's gonna be so upset and be like, that's someone's fetish and you shouldn't yuck that.
you're kink shaming me.
Yeah. Oh my God. They're gonna get so upset about it. And you know what? It's okay for me not to like it. I can have my opinion.
Yeah, you can. And you deserve your opinion.
Like, you probably wouldn't like me sucking you off dressed up as Miss Doubtfire, and that's okay because I'm not going to. Because you probably would want me to do it while you're taking a shit. No,
Me
not
or
you. I'm
okay,
looking at the
okay,
camera,
okay,
letting
okay,
the
okay.
world know that I will not suck someone off
You're
while
not
they're
gonna give
shitting
a-
as Miss Doubtfire, but I will do it
Travis-
as Miss Doubtfire.
Travis Garrell will not give Blumpkins dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire.
No.
But will give Blumpkins not dressed as Miss Doubtfire.
No, never a Blumpkin.
Mm.
Never. You couldn't pay me. That's foul.
Smalltownbiggays@gmail.com. How much will you pay
In North
Travis to give you a Blumpkin?
Okay, well then, if we're talking the right price, there might be a change.
There's
in mood here.
always a price.
No, I don't think so.
There's always a price.
I don't think so.
I'm not even going to rule out. It would be a high price, but I'd give a Blumpkin for,
Well, what if you puke while you're doing it?
you're right there at the toilet. Where else are you going to puke?
Okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore because it's making me have too many Republican thoughts about the gays.
I just made a really good point, though. You have to admit it.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, but I just have a really strong motivation to write legislation right now.
Outlawing Blumpkins. Insanely specific, but
Blumpkins, and right now I'm thinking maybe some other things that have to do with homosexuality.
adult baby diaper lovers. Is that on your list? We don't kink shame except for Blumpkins. We're kink shaming Blumpkins.
Well, I believe that you have to. I think the only way a kink becomes a kink is through there being shame. So it needs to be shamed, right? Because if it wasn't shamed, it wouldn't feel kinky.
True. That is true.
Mm-hmm. See, so we're doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Look at my intelligent thought of the day.
You really
You're
wrap-
all disgusting.
and I bet you like that, don't you?
See? If it wasn't shamed, it wouldn't be a kink.
That's
it would
true.
just be normalized.
Damn, you really brought that around. I'm proud of you.
That was my Sally Jesse Raphael moment.
Good.
Yeah. That's all I have for today now. This episode's over. I just made the most amazing point, and no one can argue with that TikTok now. But will there be some upset person on there?
Probably.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Because that's the world we live in,
Mm-hmm.
where instead of just scrolling and not commenting, they're going to have to comment
Mm-hmm.
and try and make me feel bad about kink shaming someone.
Because how will people know what your opinion is if you don't express it? Because everyone cares about your opinion.
Yeah.
And that's coming from us. We made a podcast just to broadcast our thoughts to people.
That is true. It's kind of weird to think about, isn't it?
And yeah,
that we think we're so important that people give a shit what we have to say.
I
But
don't-
some do.
Some do, apparently. I don't think we're important.
Don't.
I don't think we're important enough. I think we just decided to do it. So what are we but the internet commenters who put in more work?
Two things. I want to come back to
Blumpkins?
no, I'm done with that.
I'm just trying to give the people what they want.
I don't think anyone. Okay. I want to talk about putting yourself out there on social media, but
Okay.
before that, I want to talk about some do. One time,
You want to talk about some dude?
no, some do.
Some do.
Just listen. I'll
Okay.
get there. One time when I was in youth group, we went on a mission trip and we couldn't find any adult male leader to accompany us on the trip because it was of work or I don't know. And so we had to hire this camp counselor from a Christian camp near the area. And he was a very attractive young man. I would say probably like 21, maybe, very college age. And he came on us, I wish. He came with us on this mission trip to West Virginia. So imagine yourself being like a 21-year-old college kid, like getting hired to accompany like, I think it was like 15 high school kids and like their youth leader who was a female from Wisconsin to West Virginia, not knowing anyone. And you have to like drive the 15 passenger van with all these kids and all this stuff. So he came with us, and during our mission trip, there was like, we did like a talent show thing. And our group was like, well, what are we going to do? And he's like, oh, we should do this skit and that we do at camp. And I was like, okay. And so basically everyone comes out and they like play a role. And so like someone comes out and they're like, I am the bench. And then you like get down and like make a bench. And then someone would be like, I am the tree. And then they'd act like a tree. I know it's getting there. Don't worry. And then someone would lay down and say, I am the grass. And then someone laid on top of them and said, I am the dew on the grass. And then the couple that's on this date comes out. And so he decided to be the male of the couple, which is maybe just a little weird. And it was a high school girl that he was a couple with. And they sit on the bench. So they're sitting on a person with two people laying on top of each other in front of them. He's like, I am the dude. And then she's like, I am the girl. And then they would start being like, some tree. And she'd be like, yeah, some tree. And then he'd be like, some grass, huh? And she'd be like, yeah, some grass. And then he put his arm around her, was like, some do, huh? And she was like, some don't. And then like pushed him off. Isn't that so inappropriate?
What? The fuck?
Yeah, a mission trip. And this 21-year-old adult leader and a high school girl. And like, what is that skit?
Why do you need I have so many questions. Why do you need the dew? No, you need the dew for the pun. Okay,
Yeah.
I got that. Why do you need the grass? Why don't
Because
you just say there
was a lot happening there, wasn't there? So some do.
I wish some didn't.
I think I was the grass, to be honest. Or the bench. I can't remember. I'm sure I was the bench. I was a fat kid, so of course I was a fucking bench.
Well, that's why I was going to say you might be the grass, because then someone lays on
Well,
top
I
of you.
was
They're
for
like,
sure.
yeah.
I was either the sturdy bench or the grass.
Yeah.
I was not the dew, I'll tell you that much.
I bet you made a very sturdy bench for this weird. That is fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
Smalltownbiggays@gmail.com. Some do?
Some don't. His name was Jens. And then that on our
good
way
strong
home,
name.
we stopped in Chicago and he met up with, I think, like his girlfriend and was like, okay, well, I'm just going to stay here. You guys can finish the trip without me. But I remember this is so weird. Whatever, I'm going to say it. He showered and he like came out with just his towel on wrapped around him and he was really hot.
Mm.
And that was another gay awakening moment for me.
He was trying to fuck a high schooler.
Maybe.
Why did he play the counsel?
Yeah, I don't know why he played the couple. I don't know why he just didn't not be in the skit. Because like I don't think anyone else is like.
I was gonna say
people were in it.
Weren't there more children?
Yeah, there was lots of people watching, and there was plenty of people to do things. We could have also just cut the son, or and just replace that with someone. And also, like, how inappropriate Like just the whole skit
The
is
whole
just inappropriate. Period. At a church camp thing.
I feel like it is a weird Christian thing to. There's that meme. I don't know if it's really a meme, but it's a saying. You construct intricate rituals to touch the skin of another man. Talking about like wrestling and like what straight people do in order to have like not homosexual experiences, but like a camaraderie with other men. A camaraderie. Is that why you were laughing?
No,
you child.
I'm thinking of something else.
Okay,
keep going.
Can't wait to hear that. Fucking whatever that bullshit bizarre thing is. But straight men go to great pains to have interactions and like camaraderie with other straight men, but not in a homosexual way because they're terrified of being homosexual. So that kind of sounds like a weird thing to get two kids to lay on top of each other so that these pervert Christian camp people can look at two kids laying on each other.
Also, this is a side note. This is not what I was chuckling about just a second ago, but the room that we did this skit in, it was carpeted and we'd have to like sit on it a lot. And like, I remember laying on the carpet and looking, and there was lots of pubic hair on the carpet.
I'm sure there was.
It was gross.
Where was this place?
In West Virginia somewhere.
So there's just a lot of pubes
in the hollers of West Virginia.
Hollers of West Virginia.
It was West Virginia is beautiful.
I have never been. I'm afraid to go because I might get hate crimed, but I would like to go because that's also where the goblins are.
Yeah, I saw them.
Tune into our Halloween episode for more on that.
We went whitewater rafting there. It was beautiful in the gorge.
Cool. Would you say the gorge was gorge?
It was gorge. Hey, gorge. Also, one time in church group, my best friend Shelly and I convinced our pastor's daughter. I'm trying to think of the nicest way to say this. I'll just say she was an easily influenced girl. And for those listeners who know me well, she was part of the Lord's Army. She developed early and was very curvaceous and busty.
Okay.
And she also had a Dorothy Hamill haircut, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a bob like from the 70s,
Yeah.
So hilarious. And there was a talent show. What is with these talent shows at church camps? But there was a talent show night, and there was like, this was at Godstock. So there was like, I don't know, 400 youths there at this hotel all together. And we didn't have to do a lot of convincing, but we definitely told her it was a good idea for her to dance to Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman in a tube top and some really skin tight jeans and a cowboy hat. And she was dancing really provocatively in front of everyone. And then afterwards kind of got a little bit in trouble and then was...
Oh, really? At church camp?
Went outside and smoked a cigarette and then got kicked out of Godstock for the weekend.
Cool.
So, good for her.
That's what made you cool. You got kicked out of Godstock?
No, she did.
She got kicked out of Godstock.
Yeah.
She sounds cool as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible. She sounds cool as shit. Got kicked out of Godstock for smoking a ciggy?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, queen.
Dancing provocatively.
Hell yeah, queen.
I mean, honestly, everything I wish I would have done and been.
Yeah.
So props to you, mama.
Props to you, mama.
She did it.
This just reminded me, talking about cigarettes, I have a slight detour. While we were in the Twin Cities, turns out no one in the big city smokes anymore.
Yeah,
but
it's gross.
Man, do they bum a lot of fucking cigarettes.
It's because everyone knows how gross it is, and then when they get drunk, they start wanting to.
It was
let
not
their
just drunk people. I think it's
go.
just that cigarettes are expensive, which you need to remember that when you're bumming cigarettes from someone, these things are expensive. Offer to give $1. The person will probably say no. At this point in my life, I say yes. No one smokes cigarettes anymore, I think, because it's not gauche, but they still want cigarettes because they're still addicted to nicotine.
Yeah.
So if you're just fucking buy a pack, man, just do it. Don't be that guy.
Remember that one time you quit smoking?
Yeah. But then I also have I'm working on it. Shut up. I also have my hat that says, "Hey man, can I bum a cigarette?" And for some reason, people take that as
like you.
I have cigarettes for you to bum. The hat is asking if I can bum a cigarette.
You know what you should do for this instance specifically?
Get rid of that hat, which is what I'm doing. Is I need a new hat.
No, I like that hat.
I think it's a great hat.
What you should do is stick a cigarette in your butt crack, and then when someone asks to bum one from you, pull that one out and give it to them. See what they do.
Here's my ass, Siggy.
Either they're gonna love it or they'll never bother you again.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Either way, I think you might want to know the person.
Yeah, I think so. I just think if you see someone wearing a, hey man, can I bum a cigarette hat? It's a funny hat. It's a cute hat. It's not an invitation for you to bum a cigarette from them.
I think it's an invitation to know that they probably have a cigarette in their butt crack that they're going to give you.
Yeah. In my case specifically. Sure.
So that's what you need to start doing. You're welcome.
That's fair.
So I've solved 2 problems.
So many problems. You're a problem solver.
I am a problem solver.
This episode is going everywhere. So far we've hit Blumpkins, Miss Doubtfire, weird church camp things.
I think it all goes into one fucked up existence that equals my life.
It really does.
I lived a lot.
You have. What was the other thing you were gonna
we were talking about cringy social media stuff.
Oh yes, putting yourself out there on social media.
Yeah, it is pretty cringy to do.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it like in this circumstance, but I don't know. I don't like doing it alone.
I don't either, and
what about if the next episode we did and I just had my head laying in your lap the whole time?
That'd be fun. That could be fun. That'd be a fun little...
How would you feel about that?
Fine. Little weird, but fine overall. We can do that if that will make you feel better.
I don't know. I just wanted to know what you think about it. Or like, what if I just sat on the couch and then you just sat in between my legs? We'll do something.
We'll do gags.
We'll be gagging
on that cack.
Also, there was supposed to be severe weather here yesterday, and we got like nothing.
It was raining really hard for a little bit and thunderstorms.
Yeah.
But that's storm of the century. It was not.
I was upset because I had clients reschedule because of it, and now the rest of my week is going to be really
closed
busy.
The fucking bar early because of it.
Yeah.
And so did a bunch of other places, but.
Mm-hmm.
Putting yourself out there on social media.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult. It's really annoying. I am starting a media company, so unfortunately I kind of have to do that and promote the content that I create, such podcasts as Small Town Big Gays and Slay What.
Delta Work was the other, I don't know if it was this week or last week's episode of her podcast, was talking about like entertainers advertising their shows on social media. And I started thinking about that made me think of just social media in general and how I need to be better at being present online with my work life and drag life and this life.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much to do. I just don't want to do it though.
There's so much to do in it. I mean, honestly.
Hello, dearie.
Hello.
Let me suck your dick.
Come on my face. That wasn't a great Miss Doubtfire. But no, I mean, even just with the podcast, it's hard to post so many TikToks. And I was really good about it for the first 15 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're not quite as good at it. But
well, you're not, because I'm not doing any of it.
Yeah, I'm using the royal we because I've trained myself to not say I in most cases, because
I know, and I'm not really good about sharing them anymore either. So I'm failing you.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Do you want to hug?
No, we just need to make money off this so we can
hire
hire someone to do our
job
social
as
media.
Miss Doubtfire?
I want a Blumpkin as Miss Doubtfire. I'll pay you $10.
Okay, fine. I would have done it for free, so joke's on you.
Secretly, but how Republicans
I just brought up Blumpkins just to see what you would say.
Every accusation is an admission, and so you were raging against Blumpkins
because you
want to give and get Blumpkins.
Mm-hmm. As Miss Doubtfire.
As Miss Doubtfire.
Otherwise, I'm not into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, moral of the story is we need more of you to share our stuff too, and like it and subscribe to it,
please. God.
And feel sorry for us. Otherwise, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to live a very sad life of doing things like blumpkining people as Miss Doubtfire to make money. And you should put a light background noise of the Sarah McLachlan in the Arms of the Angel while I say this in the background and make a TikTok out of it.
You look directly at camera and I'll do it in the background.
If you do not support this podcast and Chance and I by sharing all of our stuff on social media and liking it, a poor, sad, pathetic drag queen will have to dress up as Miss Doubtfire and give blumpkins to people that I don't know. So you will have to live knowing that you did that to this person. So please send us money on Venmo at Chance Smith. Chance-Smith-20. And anything under $20 will result in me dying.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I just got a Venmo.
Is it from my dad?
Yes. And it was for $2. Why do you feel like you need to put yourself out there on social media more?
I don't know if I necessarily really feel it for myself. I just feel pressure to do it as like a societal thing. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like a fine line between like confidence and cockiness, and I always get really scared of hitting that fine line because I don't like to put things okay, this is unpacking some trauma, so maybe it will help loosen my ass a little bit. I am a lazy perfectionist, and the fact that like I want everything to be perfect, but if it comes down to me doing it, I'm only going to get it to about 70-80%, maybe 90% if I'm really passionate about it. But it will never be 100% because I'm too lazy to finish it that way. So like, you can see the little painting on my trim there. See how there's a little mess.
Yeah.
But no one's going to really notice that unless I point it out to you.
I didn't notice it
Yep.
until you pointed it out. Now it's all I can think about, though.
Yep. Same. And that's all I think about every time I sit here and look at that camera and I see the fucking splashy little lines. Am I going to fix it?
No.
So, when a piece of contact paper on my desk makes me think about killing myself, that's how I feel most of the time. So lazy perfectionist. So I think when I like post a picture of my work online, what I think in my head is that people aren't going to go, wow, he did a really beautiful hairstyle. I love that. I think they're going to go, wow, he thinks he did a really great job. Well, that looks like shit. Or they're going to be like, wow, he did good on that one. But I know Christina, who he cut her hair an inch too short. I don't know if that's made up, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think they're going to immediately see me as like
go
a fraud.
negative rather
than positive. And that's just because that's just me, not most people. And most people don't think that. They're going to think that's really beautiful work and you should be proud of it. And I'm glad you showed us it. But that's not how I think, because I don't think that way about myself.
I mean, you really have to come at it from the perspective of like, how often do you see someone post their work like earnestly online and think, wow, that looks like shit? You do sometimes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
there's one person I can specifically think about right now. You don't know them, but they post really horrible
stuff.
Horrible hair work. But I have plenty of friends who post really beautiful work. And every time I see it, I go, wow, they're really a talented stylist. I'm proud of them.
Exactly. I'm just worried. I'm more worried about people thinking I'm a douchebag or cringe, which I am. I'm both.
I don't think you're a douchebag, but you are cringy.
I am cringy.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Again, I said this last episode, to accept that one is cringe is to achieve enlightenment, and I'm working on it. So
I think that
also a try hard. I don't want people to think I'm a try hard, but I am.
I don't think anyone's thinking that, honey. Don't worry. Don't you worry your little heart out.
Okay. So I do need to try harder. Got it.
Yeah.
Get it. Okay. Great. You know what? If I could find out how to take a picture of my ass, well, I wouldn't even be sitting here anymore.
Why?
I'd be a millionaire on OnlyFans or something. I don't know.
Do you want me to take one for you?
Sure, we can do a boudoir shoot.
Oh,
yeah,
we could.
Could be fun.
I've done one before. It's really fun. I looked good in them.
I want to be dressed as Miss Doubtfire for mine, though.
Okay. I'll find you some stockings and a plaid skirt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I will be sexy Miss Doubtfire for Halloween.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
I think we got it right. I think your next drag show. So next, Jesus, it's coming up so fast.
Colton's going to love this. Him and I love Miss Doubtfire, and we send Miss Doubtfire stuff back and forth all the time.
Cute. Mm-hmm. I think you should be Miss Doubtfire for the next drag show.
I don't know if I could pull it off that quick.
I feel like you could. You got a week.
But I have another show in between then, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a busy woman.
Okay, maybe I'll be Miss Doubtfire for the Turnabout show.
Yes, posting online. So you think that people think you are a douchebag, try hard,
and cringe?
I don't think that's true. I think a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people, but I think people think you're handsome, and I think they find you attractive.
Yeah, and I've only recently decided, realized, or come to think of myself as attractive. So that's been a whole journey. But then when it comes to like posting pictures of myself online, you're always your biggest critic. I think even like super hot people probably deal with this, but like you take a picture and all you can see are like the love handles and stuff and all that shit. And although my cheekbones are popping lately,
I think what you do, is that you just won't harness, pun intended, your sexiness. And so you kind of like make yourself a little silly so that it's more like, then you can say it's you being silly and not cringy.
I think it's, I think I hide behind a sheen of, not a sheen. I hide behind a veil of comedy because I think that is like a small town gay fat kid thing.
I cannot relate to that.
No,
at all. Not even slightly. I don't really do any. I don't try and make people laugh. I don't hide behind comedy, even though I am hysterical.
You are very funny.
I just am just really hot, and it's hard,
difficult.
It's really hard, and I just wish more people felt bad for me because I'm just so attractive.
It's so hard being this hot
really
and funny
like,
without trying.
People just want to only have sex with you all the time and not even get to know your soul and the wonderful things you provide the community, and they just want to have sex with you. Yeah.
Very difficult, which is why you don't post online, because you don't need more attention.
Yeah. I can't even like walk anywhere. I can't even walk, really.
Because people are...
people shout at me, throw their ice cream at me, and then I have to eat it.
Which is just their weird way of
the
flirting.
Street. Yeah. And then I'm like, God, Dad, just let me
finish
my walk.
life.
How hard is it for you to work with people that you're so sexually attracted to?
I'm asexual, actually, so I don't feel sexual attraction towards anyone except for myself. So
Okay.
I'm self-sexual.
Self-sucking?
Self-sucking.
Yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Been trying.
Keep working.
Doing the stretches.
I'll help you do some stretches after this.
Great. Yeah, just push me. Push me.
Push your...
And then just touch me.
I love that song.
Nick apparently hasn't listened to the last episode, at least, because he didn't say anything. I don't remember what we said about him.
Oh, yeah, we talked trash about him.
Yeah.
Well, Nick,
we're losing viewership.
I think we are by people that know us. I think we're gaining it from people who don't know us, but I think the people who know us are bored with us.
Yeah.
And you know what? To that, I say,
poo-poo.
You could be more interesting yourself.
You could.
And I'm bored with you, and that's why I don't hang out with you. And if you don't want to listen to me talk about the cool things I've done,
like
then,
blumpkins,
and dressing up as Miss Doubtfire cruising the town, then I'm need you to do something more interesting with your life, which you're not. So you can sit on that, bitch.
Put that in your pipe and fuck it.
Yep. So if you don't want to support me, guess what? I'll stop. I can't support you because guess what? You don't do anything cool.
Boom, roasted.
Done. Mic drop. Episode over. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Small Town Big Gays is hosted by Travis Gorell and me, Chance Smith. Our music is 1am by TYB. You can check out his music. Links are in the episode description. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at STBGpod. Find us on Facebook if you're a Facebook person. Email us at smalltownbiggays@gmail.com. And for more shit from me, Chance, go to strangehavens.com.
It's been nice to fall asleep.